Welcome to Stab the Dragon Productions for episode number 259, as we continue with our studies of Irish Whiskies, Part 6. Coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas on Monday, April 6, 2026, where it is 70 degrees. Now, we have examined a handful of Irish whiskies, including Teeling Small Batch, St. Patrick's 7-year, St. Patrick's 10-year Sherry Cask, the Glendulloch Double Barrel Single Grain, the Whistler Oloroso Sherry Cask, and now tonight we'll look at the Whistler Stout Finish Irish Whiskey. Just the facts. This is an annual limited release, purchased at Specs here in Fort Worth, Texas, for about $40 for a 750 milliliter bottle. This whiskey is 86 proof and is finished in Imperial Stout beer casks. The tasting notes that I get, it's sweet, it's spicy, maybe some hints of apple initially, but then you get the chocolate mocha, dark chocolate, coffee, dark fruits. The stout beer notes are strong with this one. This is a keeper. I gave it a score of 90. Drinkability, A+. My recommendation. This may be my favorite Irish whiskey so far. I love stout beers, and this whiskey is amazing. If you see it, buy it. I'm not sure when it comes out because it's only a once-a-year release. But if you see this, go for it. Unless you don't like stout beers. If you're an IPA guy, maybe not. All right, history. This comes from Bowen Distillery, established in 2015. This is an independent, family-owned distillery, so I like that right away. Close to Bryanstown County, Meath. Bryanstown County, Meath, Ireland, north of Dublin. Close to the coast, southwest of the Isle of Man. This was founded by Patrick and Marie Cooney, and their philosophy is to use traditional pot still with some modern science and technology, but ancient mash bills, and all natural, locally sourced resources. This Imperial Stout Finish whiskey was released in 2021, and Bowen Distillery, this is interesting, it's named from Irish folklore, where the Boyne River has a goddess called Bowen, and she is Proto-Celtic. And the name means white cow. There you go. I like when distilleries tie in with local stuff. I mean, that's really good. So 5 out of 5. Plus, it's privately owned, family owned. So a lot of good stuff coming here. They have a remarkable line of products that they release, too. I mean, they put out a lot for a small distillery. Bottle, label, and marketing. This bottle has the same shape as its sister, the Oloroso Sherry Cask. You can see here the general similarities of the label and the bottle. However, this one is in black glass, and this is totally black. You cannot see through this at all. So this is a completely obscured black glass bottle. So the downside to that is you cannot see the whiskey, even if you hold it up to the light. But the upside is, I think the bottle, I mean, I'm a sucker for colored glass. I really like the bottle. It's kind of dark and mysterious looking, foreboding even. Now the label is the same shape and outline as the other one, but it's much more dramatic, menacing. The gold highlights are to good effect, as is... look at the blue fishes there, symbolizing that river the Boyne River that they're close to. Fishes jumping out of the river. And you can see the squiggly lines there for the river. So, there, the squiggly gold lines. Blue fishes. The cap is wood. It's got musical notes on the cap. So that's pretty cool for whistling. And the name Whistler, whistling as an art form, I guess, in Ireland, kind of folk music art form. And it's a real cork. Now, I've not been able to find any ads for this variety, but Bowen Distillery did put out a video, and there are, they deal with this whiskey in that video, and there are several reviews out there for it. So, in the Bowen Distillery website is pretty good as well. So for bottle, label, and marketing, 5 out of 5. Appearance of this whiskey, well, you can't check it in the bottle. So here we are in the glass. And again, they're natural. There's no coloring going on here. This is pretty light. So that's a 2 out of 5. Light straw. 2 out of 5 for appearance. Composition, limited release batch number 3. 35% malt and 50% wheat. 15% grain. I'm not sure about the grain there. It's probably unmalted barley is what I would guess. The whiskeys are aged separately for 4 years in ex-bourbon barrels, and then they give some of the barrels to a brewery. These barrels are sherry casks, but then the brewery fills them with stout beer. And the whiskey is then added to the beer barrels when the beer is ready, and they dump the beer and bottle the beer. So, they then put the whiskey in the beer barrels. And the whiskey is finished for 6 months in those beer barrels. So you've got the ex-bourbon barrels and then beer barrels. And the beer barrels had been sherry casks. So that's kind of a complex method of doing that. And so finishing the whiskey for 6 months in those beer barrels, and it really tells. You can really taste it. This weighs in at 43% ABV or 86 proof. And the bottle name's Lough Gill Brewing, which is on the northwest coast of Ireland. But in other things that I've seen, there's been a couple of other breweries listed in my research. So I think it may vary from year to year which brewery they use. Maybe they have short-term contracts or something. I don't know. But I have seen other breweries mentioned behind this beer. This is, of course, a standard triple distilled Irish whiskey, non-chill filtered, no color added. So not only is this a family-owned distillery, but they really do things the ancient way. 14 out of 15 for composition. Nose. Let's nose this whiskey. And right away, I get sweet, but this rarely happens. I get cocoa, chocolate on the nose. Amazing. Maybe a cola. Now, it's not real strong, but that chocolate, I get that. That's wild. So 9 out of 10 on the nose. Taste. Wow. Sweet and spicy. There might be some hints of apple initially, but very quickly, the chocolate mocha hits. Dark chocolate, coffee. Maybe some dark fruits in there. Those stout beer notes from the middle to the back of the palate is just amazing. I mean, when you breathe in as you're drinking that, again, the stout beer. So, if you're a lover of stout beer, this is fantastic. My favorite Jameson was the stout cask finished, and of course, that went away. They heard it was my favorite. So, Whistler, this is my favorite. Don't take it away. This is, oh man, this is definitely a keeper. 23 out of 25. Mouthfeel, burn, and finish. It's got a decent mouthfeel. It's not thin by any means. There is a burn that somewhat punches above its 86 proof, but in a very nice way for me. Yeah. There's a long finish here, and that seals the deal. The Imperial Stout comes in, again, mid-palate to the back, and it lingers on the finish quite a while. Those chocolatey notes, the beer notes, the maltiness are all clearly there. This is really quite good. This is one of my favorites. Excellent. 14 out of 15 points for mouthfeel, burn, and finish. Now, flexibility. Neat, iced, or cocktail. Neat, this is wonderful. It's got enough proof and flavor for ice if you must. I don't do that. Now, in an old-fashioned, the other day, I used some Angostura bitters and Aztec chocolate bitters, and it turned out to be amazing. See, you want to maximize the flavor that's already there. And so let me go make another old-fashioned, and I'll tweak it a little bit. I'll be right back. And we're back with another old-fashioned. Now, what I did this time, Angostura bitters, for sure. The same chocolate bitters that I used the other day from Fee Brothers. But this time I added a couple of drops of black walnut bitters. So we'll see how that turns out. This whiskey is amazing with an old-fashioned. And you can tweak it. Now for sweetener, I used maple syrup. And then we have orange peel and 1 cherry. But after I made this, I thought, I've got some fig preserves in the fridge. I should have used fig preserves. That's a thought. I think that's worth a try. Maybe next time. All right, so flexibility, neat, iced, and cocktail, 5 out of 5. Price, value, and availability. Here in Fort Worth, Texas, this brand is only available at Specs Liquor Store, but this is also a limited edition, only 1 release per year by the distillery. And so it's no longer available in Fort Worth, and I don't know when it comes out again. But the next time, I'm going to always be looking for this one. And next time I see it, I will get another bottle. I paid about $40 for this 750 milliliter bottle. And I think the price is fair. The value is great. Availability, not so good though. Nonetheless, 8 out of 10 for price, value, and availability. Bonus points. This became an instant favorite. I loved the philosophy of the distillery, the background, the name, the way they approach whiskey, all of it. The taste, the flavors, absolutely. 5 out of 5 bonus points. Giving me a total score of 90 points. Letter grade for drinkability, A+. In my analysis and recommendation, again, this may be my favorite Irish whiskey so far. I do love stout beers, and so you combine that with this whiskey, and it's amazing. The old-fashioned that this whiskey makes is amazing. The only problem is that limited release, so it's going to be hard to find. So next time, I think, even if I have some of this bottle left, I'll go ahead and get another bottle. And I rarely do that, almost never. So highly recommend, especially if you like dark beers. Conclusion. This past week was Holy Week, and so I didn't put out any videos last week. I enjoy these videos, but they're not the most important thing in my life by any means. So, enjoyed going to church Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. And then this week we have, the Artemis thing happened last week. and is continuing this week. We've been tracking that. And then, of course, we have a war going on in Iran, and you had the dramatic rescue of the pilots over the weekend, Easter weekend. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. So I would urge you to seriously consider finding a church and attending services. And Islam and communism are on the march, and we cannot defend our republic through politics alone. Politics is important, but politics is rooted in and is a product of our faith. So I hope you had a blessed Easter. This is Stab the Dragon. In hoc signo winkies out here. Cheers.